which is you should never ever stand in a doorway, and because it was the only entrance and the only exit. If you had to get out quickly, you should never be blocking the doorway for any reason, because you may not be aware of the danger inside or the danger outside. If you're standing in a doorway, you are an obstacle. The teachings of our Diné are also a part of the things that are considered taboo. And these are things that you should not do, should not say, and participate in any way of things that are not going to be helpful to your existence here in the third world. And so the teachings are also in helping you to become a person that thinks to protect others or to protect yourself from the things that might do you harm or do your family harm and destroy you. And so it was that there were taboos of things you should not do, and they would really become angry with you. And of course, one of the first things is the mocking of the ceremonies, or mocking of any of the songs and that, and the prayers and that are offered, and even mocking the way that certain medicine men might perform the ceremony. Do'ochet Eid is what they would tell you, is you do not do this. Do'ochet Need is you should not say this. And so those are the things that are in the teachings of the taboos of our people. One of the very first ones I ever heard was you should never ever whistle at night, or the evil one will fall on you. And so I never understood the teachings until I learned it came from thinking like a warrior. Whistling, the sound of whistling travels a long ways at night, and it gives away your position to anybody that might not be able to see you in the daytime. But if they hear that sound, it travels a long ways, and they'll determine and find you by where the sound is coming from. And they might attack you and do you harm or do your family harm. And so it was that you never ever whistle at night. And so that traditional teaching is still being taught many times as a taboo. And the other thing is that of never ever touching your sister. And it was that they were very strict about that, or even any contact with your sibling that would be a sister. Hateja Allah. Never ever make contact with your sibling. And so those were the things that we're told as far as some of the teachings that are not very much recognized today. Other things is Dodazde Zinda, which is you should never ever stand in a doorway, and because it was the only entrance and the only exit. If you had to get out quickly, you should never be blocking the doorway for any reason, because you may not be aware of the danger inside or the danger outside. If you're standing in a doorway, you are an obstacle. And the other thing I think it applies to is don't stand in the way of people that know what they are doing, and let them do it, is where that taboo comes in. So it is that if our people are not progressing, you are in the doorway. You're blocking the way for people to accomplish the things that need to be done. And so it was that the teaching of never stand in the doorway, that's tied in with other teachings as well. But one of the other things is the mocking of the ceremonies, and some of the things that we do in ceremonial settings and in various ceremony. Antesh is one of them, and that is the marking of the body. There are certain areas of the body when a ceremony is done that involves placing markings on the body is very important. And the teaching is that which is don't make and mark up your body. And the reason is that when we do it in a ceremonial setting, the markings are made there and they are filtered into the portals where you can receive influence from a good source. And you get that good influence, and it helps in the healing of your spirit and of your emotions and your mind. And then it in turn heals the body. And so that's why the markings are placed on the body. After 4 days after the ceremony is completed, you can wash them off after making an offering or offering up a certain prayer. But nowadays, of course, there are people that mark up their bodies with all kinds of markings and tattoos, and the majority of them are unfiltered. So it is that our traditional teachings would say when they mark up their body like that, you are giving a opening or a portal to spirits and influence that would not be good. And so those are the things that we are told.